All right, so I did listen to the audiobook of what is supposed to be Kim's diary, something that Kim wrote and basically was on a hard drive just before she passed away and supposedly gave to someone trusted for this to be released. And when I was listening, it was about an hour long, and I read that it was 19 chapters. From what I recall, I think I remember the lady was reading chapter by chapter. I believe it was a full 19 chapters. And it sounded like there was an era a few years ago, probably over 10 years ago, where there was these books like True to the Game and I can't think of the name of another one, but there was a lot of these books that came out where it was like hood books and a lot of drug dealing, and it sounded like all the makings of like Paid in Full. And that's what I was thinking of when I was listening to this audiobook. I'm sorry, I'll Be Sure has come out and stated that the book is false. And the book was actually brought out by Christopher Todd, and he is stating that he believes the book is authentic, and he actually put the book out under a pseudonym. He stated that the book was given to him by a trusted source, and that he believes it really is Kim Porter's words. And he says that there are also pictures. So according to him, there's actually more to come. He intends on releasing things little by little. Now, Gene, who is former bodyguard of Diddy, came out and did an interview and states that the book has a lot of details that are not real. One encounter that he especially can attest to not being real is how he met Kim Porter, or when he met Kim Porter. He vividly remembers that his first encounter with Kim is when she was cooking shrimp. But the book, I do also remember in the book stating that he came to pick her and Puffy up to go somewhere, and he was in an all white suit and he brandished a gun on his hip, and that she was kind of intimidated. So with that being said, I believe that this book is not real as well. I do believe that it's someone trying to make money or capitalize off of this entire situation. And I feel like it's a trend because something similar, or this kind of thing, occurred around the time that the case between Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez was going on. And there were a lot of people saying things, doing things without any evidence. And I mean, even Tory Lanez capitalized and did things as well. He put out an album. A lot of his music videos at that time had like horse legs and things like that. So just before all of this occurred with Diddy, there was a psychic, or there is a psychic by the name of Sloan Bella, who kind of predicted all of these things occurring the way they are occurring right now. And there was someone on YouTube that alluded to the fact that they don't believe that it was actual psychic activity or instinct that caused Sloan Bella to know these things, but rather the fact that she is close to someone who knew that this was in the works of occurring. I, to some degree, also believe that that may be the case as well. And the reason why I say that is because I believe Diddy had an inkling and knew that this was coming down the pipeline, because he as well has some sort of attachment to law enforcement in some capacity. I mean, people have talked about how they believe that's the reason why for all these years he has gotten away with so much, is because of his attachment to law enforcement. So he has been able to slip through the cracks a lot of time with a lot of these cases, and because of his money, who he knows, and things like that. So I don't think it's far-fetched that Sloan Bella may have someone who she knows, and that's the reason why she was able to predict, just as much as this book is it's still a bunch of things that we already kind of knew, speculated, and it's more so gossip rather than crime. And the reason why I think P. Diddy knew that something was some sort of case and was coming is because he sold, I'm sorry, not sold. He gave his artists their rights back. I can't remember the name, but he gave, after holding on to, I don't think it was like, I don't remember the name. It was like published, whatever, with the music rights. He gave that back, no charge, for free, a few years ago. Not that long, maybe like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that. And he has been, it's all about love. It's all about love. He has been saying that and trying to kind of push that energy out for some time now. And I think it's because he knew that this was about to happen. And my whole thing is, if he knew that that was about to happen, I think the wiser thing for him would have been to do what Russell Simmons did, which is to just completely leave. But I think that Diddy's downfall is definitely, something that had to happen, not only because a lot of the things that are illegal that has been done is so heinous and just demonic that he has to take accountability for that. But not only that, it's just because I've seen him throw tantrums in so many stories that people tell about him, and even on TV when we watch the TV shows and things like that, and him, hey, something is not going his way and he starts, to act out. I think for that very reason is what caught him up, is because he doesn't take no for an answer, or he doesn't take the hint when certain things happen to like stop or to just peel back from something. He doesn't take the hint. And so I think that is what ended up being his downfall, is not knowing when to stop or not knowing when to pull back, and just kind of having this this power kind of struggle to where he always feels like he has to win. And so it was talked about even in the downfall of Diddy. I think it was Mark Lamont Hill that mentioned the fact that, hey, if he would have just paid Cassie outside of court and not allowed her, or kind of dared her, maybe gave her what she want instead, we may not be going down this path, but rather, according to the documents, Diddy has been under investigation since I think the 90s, which I think is ridiculous. That an investigation is not needed for over 10 years. He should have been arrested a long time ago, because a lot of the things that he's been accused of are very serious. So I don't see why they would need to investigate him for that long. So I do definitely feel like Cassie played a very big part in everything going kind of downhill for him. And he kind of has a big ego, in the sense that he didn't move, he didn't flinch, he didn't go anywhere, he didn't make any changes. And so as of recently, it was reported that, a part of the reason why he couldn't go anywhere or run or do anything is because he was being observed and followed and, heavily watched by the feds. But long before this went down, I think that he could have made his way out of this, but I think it was meant for him to get caught, because a lot of these things that he has done is very crazy and serious charges. So about the book, after listening to Gene Deal, because I do think that the stories that Gene Deal provides, I think they are credible. I think they are true. And if Gene Deal can say, hey, that's not how I met Kim Porter, then I do believe that the story is fictitious, and that somebody is just trying to capitalize off of this moment. And that is where I think that Puffy's lawyer will gain some sort of leverage for him. That is where I can see Puffy only getting like 10 years, if he gets any time, because the media has played a very big part in kind of pushing out some of these things. I mean, I listened to the audiobook just so I can report on it, but me listening to his sex life was very annoying. It was I mean, it's not a crime. The things that he was doing, the things that Kim Porter allegedly did, if it's true, as far as taking part in threesomes and things like that, it was just very annoying because it's not a crime. None of the things I heard, well, a majority of the things that I heard as far as this book were not crimes. The crime came in where Biggie Biggie lost his life. That's where the crime comes in. The crime comes in when Tupac, was endangered and lost his life, and then the crime came in when supposedly Kim Porter found tapes of Usher. That's where the crime comes in. But all of the details, I could have did without the details. The adults who willingly participated in threesomes and things like that, I could have did without that. And all of those relationships are it's kind of implied through what we have seen in the media, because now that everybody knows what goes on at these parties, it's implied that, oh, Jay-Z must be involved because Jay-Z is a friend to him. All of these things are implied, but we simply don't know. I think we all are wondering, but we don't know who actually, have taken a part of the things that occur at the party, because that has also been made clear too, that there's the party and then there's the after party. So I think I think I agree, or I think after assessing everything and then listening to Gene Deal, because Gene Deal has been credible, I think that the book is not real. The kids have also come out to state that the book is not real. And I do think while somebody is making millions off of this, because they said after Puffy was indicted that the copy of the book, the numbers as far as the selling goes went up. I agree with what the kids said, which is that, it took them a long time to come to terms with, their mother's passing, and, this, that no friend of their mother would do something like that. So, it's also I think this person who brought this out as well, I think the reason why they also thought that this book would be credible, or people would look at it as credible, is because also not too long ago, Kamora Lee Simmons' house caught on fire, and people were speculating that it had something to do with Diddy, because supposedly he had Kid Cudi's car blown up, and just all kind of crazy stuff surrounding that. So as far as this book, I would say I don't think it's real, and I think that it was very hood book-ish. Like, it was very true to the game. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but True to the Game is like one of those hood books from back in the day. They were popular, those books. I don't know if people still read them. I haven't read them in years, but it has all the makings of that, and even the way that Kim has portrayed the character is like one of those girls. So comment down below, let me know if you read the audiobook and what do you think.